Good morning, students. Today we are going to do the second part of our chapter, that is cell, the unit of life. Now, in the last chapter, we learned in general about the plant cell and the animal cell, and in general, we learned how the structure looks like. Now, today's class is all about each and every cell organelle. Okay, what is a cell organelle? The smaller parts of the cell. So, we are going to study each and every small part in detail. Okay, so the first part I've chosen is the endoplasmic reticulum. Now, how does the endoplasmic reticulum look? It's something like this. At the center, this blue colored thing is the nucleus, and this part that you can see, these tubules, this is the endoplasmic reticulum. Now, how does the structure look like? It looks like a network. As you can see, it looks like a network. It is made up of many, just not one tubule, but a network of tubules. So it is made up of an irregular network of double membrane tubules. Now why do we say it as an irregular network? Because there is no definite arrangement. Okay, so it is an irregular network of double membrane tubules. Why are they called tubules? Because they are looks like tubes inside. Now the second point, its outer end is connected to the cell membrane and the inner end is connected to the nuclear membrane. Now the outer end, this part of it is connected to the outer cell membrane. Remember, the cell is enclosed by a outer covering known as a cell membrane. So the outer part of the endoplasmic reticulum is connected to the cell membrane, and this inner part, you can see this part is the inner part, and this part is connected to the nuclear membrane. What is the nuclear membrane? The membrane of the nucleus. We shall study about that in detail in the next class. Okay, now how does it look? Rough. Okay, they look rough when ribosomes are attached to this. So when the endoplasmic reticulum is having ribosomes, you can see these red dots that I've shown here. Okay, these dots are known as the ribosomes. So when the ribosomes are present, then they are known as rough endoplasmic reticulum. And if these ribosomes, as in this case, you can see here the ribosomes are absent, there are no dots, red dots here, so this is known as a smooth endoplasmic reticulum or SER, and this, because the ribosomes are present, they are known as rough endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so rough when ribosomes are attached to it, smooth when ribosomes are not attached to it. Now what is the work of the ribosomes? They synthesize proteins, they produce proteins in the cell. Now, what is the function of the endoplasmic reticulum? As you can see, it forms a supporting framework for the cell. It is like the supporting framework, like a skeleton is our supporting framework of our body. In the same way, the endoplasmic reticulum becomes the supporting framework of the cell. Okay, it is holding the cell in its structure. Second one is synthesis and transport of proteins and fats. So it is able to transport the proteins, okay, from one end to the other, because it is attached from the nucleus up till the cell membrane. So that is why its main work is synthesis and transport of proteins and fats. So that was about the first part, cell organelle, that is the endoplasmic reticulum. Now we shall move on to the second part, that is the mitochondria. Now the mitochondria is also known as the energy producer of the cell. Now what is the structure? You can see it's drawn over here. It looks like this. You can see it is like a sausage shaped, you can call it. Okay, sometimes it is even spherical. Okay, spherical means round shaped, or it can be rod shaped like this, or it can be sausage shaped. They have double walled bags with their inner walls produced into finger-like projections known as cristae. Now I'll explain this sentence. You can see there are two walls. One is this wall and one is this wall inside. Now this inner wall is made into inner projections. You can see they are like finger-like. Okay, they are like fingers inside. Okay, finger-like projections. And what is the name given to these finger-like projections? They are known as cristae. Okay, now what is important about this mitochondria is that they have their own DNA, that is the nuclear material. Okay, they have the deoxyribonucleic acid. Okay, they have their own DNA material. Now, what is the function? What is the main work of this mitochondria? Now all the respiration takes place in this mitochondria. That is why it is known as the energy producer. Okay, it is also known as a powerhouse of the cell or the energy producer of the cell because it is making the energy with the help of respiration. Okay, so cell respiration takes place inside this mitochondria. Energy is stored in the form of ATP. Once a respiration takes place, the energy is stored. Now, how is the energy stored? It is stored in the form of a chemical. What is the name gives that chemical? It is known as ATP. In full form, it is known as adenosine triphosphate. It is also known as a powerhouse of the cell, as I told you. And what does it do? It regulates the cell functions, and it also contains the chromosomes. Okay, so these are the functions of the mitochondria. This is the structure, and this is the structure, and this is how it looks like. The next part is the ribosomes. Now these ribosomes, as we studied first in the endoplasmic reticulum, we studied that they are covered with minute, that red colored dots which I showed you, they are known as ribosomes. Now these ribosomes are not only present on the endoplasmic reticulum, but they are present in the cytoplasm also. They are found scattered in the cytoplasm. Okay, now what is the structure? The small granules attached to the outer surface of the endoplasmic reticulum are freely scattered in the cytoplasm. You can see here these black structures are known as ribosomes. Now what is the function? They are the factories for synthesis of proteins. As I told you before, they are the factories. They make up the proteins for the cell. Okay, moving on to the next part is the Golgi apparatus. Now, this Golgi apparatus is only present in the animal cell. It is not present in the plant cell. Now, why is it present? It is a delivery system of the cell, okay, to transport the secretions of the cell. Okay, enzymes, hormones and all which are present in the animal cell, more of the animal cell, these have to be transported. So, it is like a transport system, like a delivery system. Structure: stacks of flattened membrane sacs. You can see here they are like membrane sacs, sacs. They are membranous sacs and they're stacked in line, okay, stacked one above the other. Now vesicles of various shapes. You can see they can be of various shapes. There's no fixed shape to it. So they can be vesicles. Vesicles means they are structures of various shapes. Now where are they present? They are usually normally located near the nucleus. Okay, they are found near the nucleus, which is at the center of the cell. They consist of groups of hollow tubular structures. Okay, you can see here they are hollow. In between there is nothing. So what are they consisting of? Groups of hollow tubular structures. Now, what is the function? The function is the secretion of the cells, enzymes, hormones, etc. Okay, they secrete the hormones, etc., and they pass it throughout the cell. Formation of the acrosome of the sperm. They are also involved in the formation of the acrosome of the sperm in the animals and in also human beings. Now we come to the next part, that is lysosomes, which is responsible for the intracellular digestion. Okay. Now this lysosomes are very small vesicles. Okay, they are small vesicles and they are freely present in the cytoplasm. They contain some digestive enzymes in them. They destroy and digest the foreign substances around them. You can see they are plain like this, and they have certain substances that are able to digest the dead substances. Once any part, any organelle dies in the cell, this is able to digest it, okay, and dispose it off. They digest even the stored food. Damaged cells are destroyed and digested by their own lysosomes. So if the lysosomes are present in the cell, they will destroy, they will eat up all the dead cells and destroy them forever. Hence they are known as the suicide bags of the cell, because they are eating up it is present in the cell and it is eating part of the cell only. That is why they are known as suicide bags of the cell. Okay, now what is the function? Intracellular digestion. What is the meaning of intracellular digestion? Intra means inside the cell. So inside the cell only it is digesting the parts of the cell. They destroy the cell organelles and hence they are known as suicide bags. They digest the cartilages during the formation of bones. When the baby is growing up, initially there are small bones known as cartilages. Now these cartilages get digested and they get formed into bones. So this is done with the help of lysosomes. Okay. Now we move on to the next part, that is centrosome. Now the centrosome is also present only in the animal cell. It is absent in the plant cell. It is a clear area in the cytoplasm and this is also lying close to the nucleus. Okay, this part also lies close to the nucleus. Now each centrosome, what does it contain? It contains two centrioles. Okay, each centrosome contains two centrioles. I have shown here, one is like this and one is like this, so they lie at right angles to each other. Okay, always the centrioles lie at right angles to each other, which are short bundles. Now what are these centrioles? They are short bundles of microfilaments. Okay, they are short bundles of micro means very small filaments, and they are attached at right angles to each other, as you can see. Now, what is the function? It initiates the cell and regulates the cell division. Now, if the cell has to divide, okay, body has to grow, the cell has to divide. Now, this part, okay, that is the centrosome, helps in the cell division. Okay, so it initiates and it regulates the cell division. It forms the spindle fibers with the help of esters during cell division. Okay, so it forms the spindle fibers with the help of esters. These are all parts of the centrosome. Okay, so they will be help in that cell division. Now, what is plastids? Now, these plastids are only found in the plant cell. Okay, they are not found in the animal cell. In fact, they give color to the cell. Okay, now what is the function? Chromoplasts, they give color to the flowers. Now, what is the plastids? There are various names for the plastids. Now, they are present in the flowers. They are known as chromoplast. What does the chromoplast do? They give color to the flowers. You see flowers of various colors in the garden. Okay, why are they of various colors? Because they contain different colored pigments or different colored plastids. Now if the particular color, the flower is yellow in color, that means that flower is having the pigment known as xanthophyll or the plastid known as xanthophyll. Okay, if it is orange or red in color, that means it has got the pigment carotene. Even carrots have carotene in them. Beetroot will have carotene in it. Okay, chloroplasts, then they are green in color. As you know, chloroplasts, chlorophyll, okay, they are related to photosynthesis. Okay, now leucoplasts, it stores starch. Now in some plants like potato, okay, this leucoplast is present. And what is the function of the leucoplast? It stores the food. Okay, it stores the food in the form of starch, and that's why it is white in color. During ripening, you must have seen a green chili. Okay, if you keep it out for some days, what happens to it? It becomes red in color. That means first initially it was having the pigment chlorophyll. It was also having a pigment known as carotene. But as the days progresses, chlorophyll pigment became less and the carotene pigment became more. And this change brought about the change in the color. That is why that green chili now became red in color. Okay, now what is the structure of this plastid? It's a double membrane proteinaceous substance contains the DNA. Now this is also double membrane. You can see there are two membranes in it. Okay, and it also contains the DNA. They are like disc-like structures known as thylakoids that contain the chlorophyll. You can see in between this, these are disc-like. They are like the disc, no, like the discus through a disc. Okay, now this disc-like structure, it is contains something known as thylakoids. Okay, thylakoids, and they contain the chlorophyll. So that's why it's shown here green in color. Okay, so these contain the disc-like structures and they are green in color. That's about the plastid. What are plastids? They are the chromoplast which give color to the cell. There are different names for the chromoplast: xanthophyll, carotene, chloroplast, leucoplast. Now we come to the next part, that is known as vacuole. Now yesterday when I showed you the plant cell and the animal cell, I showed you that the animal cell, the vacuoles are very small, and the plant cell, the vacuoles are very big. So now we're going to study in detail about this vacuole. Now what is this vacuole? They are clear spaces with water or any other solution. You can see over here there's a clear space. This is the vacuole. Okay children, this is the vacuole and these are the other organelles. Now if this is a, what type of cell must this be? This should be ideally be a plant cell because it has got a big vacuole over here. Okay, now plants have larger vacuoles than the animal cells. Now what does this contain? It contains water or any other solution. Okay, any other liquid thing. It will not have any solid. It will have a liquid or it can be a semi-solid, semi-liquid, covered by a covering known as tonoplast. Okay, now it has got an outer covering, and what is this covering called as? It is called as tonoplast. It contains pigments called as anthocyanins. Now all vacuoles, they contain a pigment known as anthocyanins. This had come for last year's question paper, final exam question paper. What pigment is present inside the vacuole? So the answer is anthocyanins, and that is why it is violet to blue in color. Now, what is the function? Is storage of water. Okay, what is this function? What does a vacuole do? It stores the water, the food, okay, waste products, all that is stored till it is thrown out of the body. Okay, and it gives turgidity. Okay, it gives a certain amount of turgidity to the plant by pressing against the cell wall. Okay, it makes the plant cell little turgid. Okay, and it presses the organelles against the cell wall, as you can see over here. Now, what are the major differences can be asked in the exam? What are the difference between the plant cell and the animal cell? So, the feature over here, the first feature is a cell wall. Now, what do you know about the cell wall? The plant cells, they have a definite cell wall. What is a cell wall made up of? Cellulose. I told you yesterday about this. Now, animal cells, do they have a cell wall? No, they do not have a cell wall. The centrosome is not present in the plant cell, but in animal cell, the centrosome is present. Then you have vacuoles. The vacuoles are prominent. Prominent means very clear, very big. Okay, or one or more, concerned with excretion or secretion, either for throwing out or for preparing. Vacuoles, if any, are small and temporary. They are very small and they are not very clear also. Plastids, they usually, plant cells contain plastids. That is why the color of the flowers, the green leaves, etc. But animal cells, they don't have these plastids. Now the quantitative differences. Size. Okay, the size of the plant cell. What did you see about the size? We can say that the plant cells are larger. Okay, they are bigger in size with distinct outlines. Why distinct outlines? Because of the presence of the cell wall. Okay, now animal cell don't have a cell wall, so they are smaller in size with less distinct boundaries. Because it does not have a cell wall, the boundary wall is not so clear as in the plant cell. Cytoplasm is not so dense. Okay, the cytoplasm is not so filling. Okay, it is spread out. Okay, but in this case the cytoplasm is dense. Okay, more closer to each other and more grains are there, granular. Now, arrangement of the cytoplasm, a thin lining of cytoplasm mostly pushed to the periphery. Even if the cytoplasm is there, it is all very thin. But in the case of animal cell, it almost fills up the entire cell. Okay, so that's the difference between the plant cell and the animal cell. Now the homework for today, last class I gave you question 1. Now question 2, differentiate between plant cell and animal cell. The answers on page 17. Question 3, state one function of the following: lysosome, mitochondria, ribosome, Golgi apparatus, vacuole. You will find this in that table. Okay, there is a table 2.1 on page 15, 16, 17. It continues 3 pages. From the table 2.1, you will get the diagram, you have the characteristic, and you have the third column is the function. So from the function, you can pick up the functions to be written for each of these. Please complete your homework, children, and also study, read the chapter well. Okay, what I've done so far, and I'll see you tomorrow with another session. Thank you so much.